Hey there, Board Game Brody here with Let's Table It, where we get games to the table. Like Jinxx here from Looney Labs. This is an abstract strategy game using 3 different sized pyramids in a 3x3 grid. You'll be jockeying for position in a really small space, but you don't get to pick what piece to move. Rather, you will roll a die that determines what piece that you might be able to position in a better space to eventually arrange your pieces so that you have the topmost pyramid in a 3-row spaces through the center square of the board. So the center square always needs to be part of your 3 in a row in your spaces. During the game, you play in turns, and on your turn you will roll the die. The die indicates the size of piece that you can move. If there are 2 sizes shown, then you can pick one of the 2 to move. When moving, you can move any of your pieces in a tower. When moving, all pieces on top of the one that you move will be carried along with it, even if this is another player's piece. You will move 1 space orthogonally adjacent and never diagonal. Then you will pass the die to the next player, and they will roll the die and move their piece according to the result of the die. To begin, you will have 3 towers stacked on one side of the board, and the only spot that you can move onto when moving onto the board from off the board is the space directly in front of it, and pieces can never leave the board once they have been moved onto the board. Remember, your piece can land on a piece of any color. However, you cannot land on a piece that is smaller than the piece that you are moving. In other words, pieces may be stacked, but only onto pieces of the same size or larger. During the game, whenever any piece lands on top of another piece of the same size, the lower piece is destroyed. You will remove that piece that was landed on, even if it's your own piece, and return it to the box. If you only have one possible move, then you must do it during the game. If you find yourself unable to move, you can either roll again or move another player's piece of the given size from the die roll. And when moving another player's piece, it must be a legal move, and you can only move the piece of theirs that's on the board, never ones that are off the board. With strategy and with time, you will soon have the topmost piece in 3 in a row spaces on the board through the center space, and if that happens, then you win the game. And well, that's Jinxx here. It's a tic-tac-toe variant type game that requires some strategy to position yourself in a way to be the top of the 3 spaces, including the center space. Remember, the die might work with you or against you at other times. Once you get a hang of things, you will find those strategies to bait your opponents and then either destroy their pieces or set yourself up for a 3 on top in a row victory. Hijinx is another option that you can play using the same game with the same pieces. Well, actually just some of the pieces. 3 trios of the same color, the 3x3 grid, and the die. In this game, you are trying to be the first to fill the row on your side of the 3x3 grid with exactly 3 pieces of the same size, 1 per space. But you can also win by making your opponent take all 9 pieces. This game is for 2 players only, and it plays with the same rules as Jinxx, except for you cannot move pieces in your opponent's home row, which is the row in front of them. You can only move pieces into the home row. These are quick, abstract strategy games that you can take anywhere. The box can fit inside of your pocket pretty much, or in a small space. To always have it ready when, you want to play it. The components are great. The pyramids are made of plastic and they form little trees when the large ones are on the bottom, then the medium one and the small one is on top. Jinxx becomes an interesting game as you can have up to 4 players playing it, and really everyone will somehow, at some point be battling for the middle square when doing so. Some might set things up before getting the middle square to win, and some might battle for it first and then fight for the other squares around it for the win. There are many ways to outsmart the other players, but you need to be aware of each other player and what they're trying to do and not let one player sneak in for the win. Again, this is Brody with Let's Table It, where we get games to the table. Please like and subscribe to our channel. We are working hard to bring to you videos like this one, so you know if these games are ones that you want to get to your own table.